Okay, so this is the Rattan LM 750. And the 750 stands for a 750 watt rear hub motor. Now, there is some confusion because a previous model that they used to have on their website had something called iPass technology with regenerative motor. This bike does not have that, okay? And so I want to clear that up right off the bat so people understand. This has a 750 watt geared motor, okay? It is not a direct drive motor. It is a geared motor, 750 watts. Now, we got that cleared up. This does not have the iPass technology, even though it says iPass, I think, on the motor. It does not have the regenerative motor in it. Just so we're cleared that up right away. This has a 48 volt 13 amp hour battery, which gives you lots and lots of power to that 750 watt motor. This is a class 3 e-bike. Class 3 means that it can go up to 28 miles per hour if you set it for the class 3 setting. Now, depends on where you're at as to whether that is legal. In class 3 setting, what that means is with the, this is set for California standards, just so you know. If you turn the throttle, and it has a throttle like a motorcycle on the right-hand handlebar here, and if you turn this throttle right here, okay, it will go up to 20 miles per hour. All right, but if you're in throttle only and you're trying to go to that 28 miles per hour, you need to know it's not going to go 28 miles per hour because it's set so that it will shut off at 20 miles per hour using throttle. However, you can go faster than that if you use the pedal assist and you set it up to like pedal assist 5 on the bike. Then you can pedal assist and you can go up to 28 miles per hour. Now, I took this out already for a couple of quick runs. It's really cold here, so I haven't been able to go on any long testing runs on this yet. But on a couple of quick runs, I was able to get it in pedal assist 5. I was able to get it up to 24 miles per hour. Now, I'm an old guy, not in great shape either. So some of you younger people that can pedal harder and have better knees, I've had 3 knee surgeries. If you got better knees than me, you could probably pedal a lot faster and get it up to that 28 miles per hour. But I was only able to get it up to 24 miles per hour. So that's me. That's my conditions. It will do over the 20 miles per hour, which makes it a class 3. And I think that you probably could, under the right conditions with the right rider in good shape, you probably could get that 28 miles per hour out of it. Okay, so that's your speed. Range on this, because it's got a 48 volt and 13 amp hour, you're looking at a good 40 miles, right around there, of range for an average rider. You know, that's really good. About 40, maybe even up to 50 miles of range. If you put this in like pedal assist 1 or 2, you should be able to get somewhere between 40 and 50 miles range. That's great range for a bike like this. In fact, this bike is rated, and I will show you, I will give you the link so you can go and look at it, has been tested against several other bikes in the same range, and this bike scored the highest for longest range, okay? So I'm going to show you that, and I'll let you go look at those statistics because they did the testing for long range. No need for me to, because they already did the testing for long range on this bike. Gets very good range. Now, some other things about this bike. It is a folding e-bike, which you can see right here in the middle. This is your folding attachment right here, okay? And you can unlatch it, which I will show you here in a minute, but you can unlatch it. Now, it has a lock, and I want to make sure that you're aware that you want to make sure that you have this lock. See this latch right there? When you have it folded back together, make sure that that is down. And before you get on it, every time, always check that that is down. Now, the other thing that you always want to check. These handlebars on here are adjustable. You have to put the handlebars in the slot when you first come on, and you'll notice that it has this latch right here, okay? But it also has a lock on the center beam down here, and you want to be really aware of that. Now, you put your handlebars in, and you can adjust the handlebars here, up and down, but when you first put the bike together, and when you're unfolding it it has another latch. See this latch right here? And you can unlatch this, okay? But you need to be aware that it has this secondary latch that turns and goes into that. See this right here? This turns and goes into that and keeps that from unlocking. And this was one of my biggest concerns when I got this bike, because I'm old enough that I remember the swing bikes. I don't know if you guys remember those. Swing bikes that the kids would get, and the rear wheel went a different direction than the rest of the bike. They were used for doing funky stuff on them. Well, that's what I had visions of this doing with me when I was riding it, is that these handlebars might come loose, and all of a sudden I'd have the handlebars going one way and the bike going the other way. Well, they've thought of that, and they have the safety precautions in here. This latches so that this can't come loose, so your handlebars aren't going to come loose on you while you're riding. However, like I said, you always want to check each time you get on the bike that you check to make sure that these are properly latched with the secondary latch in place on both of those locks before you start riding. Now, this comes with adjustable handlebars, and you'll notice that these handlebars are quite high. And that's one of the things that makes these bikes different than other types of e-bikes. The handlebars and the way the seat is setting, you can also adjust the seat up. The way that this is designed is so that you're sitting more straight up. You're sitting more upright than you are like on a mountain bike. On a mountain bike, you tend to be leaning more forward. And because of that, you're putting more strain on your neck and your back and your arms. This is designed for people who may have back problems or neck problems or don't have a lot of upper body strength, because you're going to be sitting straight up on the seat and you're going to have your hands, your arms out in front of you instead of leaning forward into the seat. So that's the difference in these types of bikes and other styles of bikes. Now, some other great features on this. You notice this does have a built-on rack. Some bikes do not include a built-on rack. You can sometimes get one as a, an add-on that you pay extra for, but this comes on this e-bike. It comes with this nice built-on rack, and it does come with this seat. Now, it does say that that's only good for like up to 50 pounds, so you only want to put maybe a kid on it, or you can put a child seat, or you can take the seat off and you could put a basket, or you could put, other saddlebags. I'm going to put my saddlebags on there, because I'm going to be using this primarily for runs to town to resupply. I've got about 10 miles between me and the nearest town, and so I can get on this, I can ride it and come back and still do that a couple times a week using my saddlebags to get my groceries and stuff like that. I can also take this camping, which is what I'm going to use it a lot for, and use it for an adventure bike. And this is really, because it has these fat tires, that's the other feature. This has these 4-inch, and these are 4-inch fat tires, 20-inch. They're 20-inch diameters and 4-inch fat tires. Because it does have those fat tires, this is an all-terrain. And I would call this an all-terrain adventure e-bike. That would probably be the best description for this, an all-terrain adventure e-bike, because it is designed so that you could use it on-road. You can take it off-road on light trails with those 4-inch fat tires. It will handle sand. It will handle snow. It will handle gravel roads. I have rode it on gravel roads, so I know it'll do gravel roads. And it has suspension. It has the front fork suspension you can see there. And it also has seat post suspension. This is pretty neat. It had, instead of a rear suspension down there, which is more parts to break down, this has a seat suspension, which is, if you push on it, it has a bouncy seat suspension. You can see down there. And so that gives you more cushion under your butt if you go under big bumps like that. And then it's also got the front fork suspension. So that makes it good for gravel roads and bumpy roads and trails and things like that. Now, it's not a rock hopper. You're not going to take this thing out and, go riding over, rough trails and off mountains and stuff like that. It's not designed for that, okay? But it is a good adventure bike, and you could take it on trails and dirt roads and gravel roads and, campground trails, that sort of stuff. They're generally fairly smooth, not too rough. And it does have a lot of power, okay? I can tell you that. For low speed, with that 750 watt motor and that 48 volt 13 amp hour battery, you've got a lot of good torque, okay? And I think it said it's like either 60 or 65 Newton meters of torque, which is really good for like climbing hills. If you need to get up a hill, this is going to help you a lot. And that's where I have a real problem because of my knees. I've had 3 knee surgeries. If I try to pump up a hill, it would just kill me if I was trying to do that without pedal assist on an e-bike. However, I can get on an e-bike like this, and it will take me right up the hills really easy with very little pedaling. So that's what I really use it for. And so if you're an older person or you got bad knees, bad back, this is the style of bike that I would really consider here. Now, I will, in another video, I will show this being folded up and taken down, but it's cold as heck out here, okay? And so I'm just going to do a real quick ride and show you what it's like to ride this bike. And then in another video, I will go through more details of how it can be folded up and put back together. But, I think you can probably understand that. It can be folded down into a nice compact shape, and that makes it so that you could load this into your RV or your camper in the back of your truck, and you can lift it with one arm. A guy can, at least I can lift it up with one arm. It's not too heavy. And the battery is in the back. About the only thing that I don't really care for is that you have to remove the seat. You got to take the seat off in order to get the battery out. That may be a good safety measure, security thing, because if people have to take the seat out and they can't figure that out, they can't get the battery out, so they can't steal your battery. Okay, it does have a keyed lock, so it locks the battery in place, as you can see down here. It's got a keyed lock, so it locks the battery in place. It does have the button so you can tell what the how much battery is in it. It does come with the charger. I think it's a 2-amp charger. Charges up. See, the first time I charged up, it took about 6 hours, but after that, it should only take you about 5 hours to recharge your battery to full. Generally, you're not going to let it get all the way low. You'll charge it up more often than that. What else can I tell you on this bike? Oh, the pedals. These pedals do fold up. Okay, the pedals fold up. When the bike is folded up, it gets the pedals out of the way, so that gives you a little bit more room. You want to make sure that your pedals are folded down like they are now, and you just grab them. See this? You just grab them, and they fold back down. All right, and so you grab your pedals and fold them down when you're going to ride the bike, and then you can fold them up when the bike is folded when you're putting it away. It does come with fenders. This is also something that is optional on some bikes. They charge you more for them. It does come with the fenders, and the fenders are they're the good hard plastic, ABS plastic fenders, not metal, because metal fenders tend to get scratched a lot, and then you got rust. These has the ABS plastic fenders. It does come with an integrated tail light. Which means it's connected to the battery, so you don't have to put batteries or flip any extra switches on here. This comes on with the control display up here, and it comes with a headlight. You can see it's got a headlight on there, and in order to turn these on the display, we'll turn this on. Your display controls are up here. You just click and hold this button, and you can see it has a really nice display. Okay, it has the power settings. It has your speed, it has your PAS setting, and if you want to set it, you just click it, see it go to 1. Here I'm setting it up to level 5. Pedal assist, that means the bike is going to be doing a lot of the work, and I'm just going to be barely pedaling. Also has an odometer, and I've got it set for miles on here. And one of the things when you first get this bike, which I talked to Chloe at Rattan about, is this bike needs to be set. You want to go into your settings, and you want to set the tires to 24 inches instead of 20 inches. The reason is because these are fat tires. The setting for the meter is for a regular size tire, which is smaller, and so it's a little bit off on the speed if you don't change the tire setting to 24 inches. So just set the tires to 24 inches, and that will give you an accurate speed setting on this bike. Now, I was going to say the headlights. In order to turn the headlights on, all you do is, if I remember right, you just click and hold the up button. Yeah, okay, now you can see the headlight. Little headlight is showing there on the meter, and we'll go up front and we'll look at this. And yes, here you can see the headlight is on, and we'll go around. Should also automatically turn on the tail light. Yes, okay. So you can see it's got a good bright tail light, and you know, I would ride with those on most of the time. Let people see what you have. Now, some other things that this has, it does have the shifter. It has the what they call a SIS index shifter. It's a Shimano 7-speed shifter. Has both the thumb control and the finger control, okay, for shifting it up and down. Brakes are mechanical disc brakes, which I'll show you here. There's your Shimano 7-speed shifter with turn ET derailleur down there. It has a, what do they call it, a power wheel. I think that's a 52 tooth crank arm. And looks real good. And what else we got here? It's got these disc brakes. And if I remember right, it's a Tektro. Yeah, these are Tektro disc brakes, mechanical disc brakes, front and rear. Okay, which are good brakes for a bike this size. You're not going to be going that fast. You need probably the more advanced brakes. And so I think this is good. And the wiring is all covered. Has a nice covering over it. Everything looks real good here. And so, okay, let's take this out for a quick ride, and I'll show you what it can do. So I was just going to show you this. It's been so dang cold here that I'm having to wear my ski mask to go out and ride, because this wind will just cut right through you. So I'm going to take this Rattan 750 LM out for a quick ride up and around the roads here, and just show you with my camera here, the GoPro. We'll get on this and take it for a ride so you can kind of get an experience of riding this e-bike with me. So let's do that. It does have cruise control, which is really interesting feature. If you take the cruise, if you're either pedaling at the same speed, or if you take the throttle and you go up and you hold it at a certain speed for like 3 seconds, you can actually let go of the throttle and it will just keep going at that speed. Now, some people don't like cruise control because if you happen to be going down towards a stop sign or something like that, and you let go of the throttle, you may not realize that the bike's not going to slow down. It's still in cruise control. It might keep on going, so you have to hurry and hit your brake in order to shut off cruise control. But as long as you're aware that it has cruise control on it, it's really not a big deal to just tap. All you gotta do is just touch your brakes and it kicks off the cruise control, just like on a car that has cruise control on. You just touch your brakes or start pedaling and it'll stop the cruise control, and then you're safe again. So just be aware, it does have cruise control, which is kind of nice because I like it on long trips. Instead of having to hold the throttle in on a long trip, I just turn it on cruise control and I sit back with one arm and I'm just, going right along like a motorcycle. It just carries you right along. Now, I wish it had shown in that video of me riding. I thought it would show the screen to show you how fast I was going. But I was on almost always, except for the times when I hit the hills, I was doing about 24 or a little bit faster than 24 miles per hour almost that entire trip. Okay, and it went up those hills, as you've seen, went up those hills really smooth. It only got down below, I think, 19 miles per hour on that dirt hill, and that's a pretty steep dirt hill. On my 350 watt e-bike, I would normally have to downshift that all the way into low, into granny, and pedal in order to get up that hill. I did that entire hill with the cruise, with the throttle only. I wasn't pedaling at all when I went up that dirt hill, okay? So I want you to know this has really good torque. I think it says it's 65 Newton meters of torque to get up hills and stuff like that. You've seen how it handled those dirt trails with the snow on it. Those 4-inch fat tires, they are primo. They are so nice when it comes to riding on gravel or dirt roads or snow or for sand, especially. Like I was riding on, there was a lot of sand. Or if you're going over rocks and bumps and stuff like that, that is basically your extra suspension. And you can let more air out of the tires, which I will probably do if I'm riding this in snow. You can let more air out of the tires, and that gives you even more traction for riding for really soft mud or sand or snow or something like that. You can let more air out and get you more traction. The other thing I forgot to mention about the bike is the battery does come out. Okay, so it is removable. It locks in place underneath that seat. It's got a lock and then it's got ignition. In order to run the bike, you have to turn the key on to ignition. Okay, and then you ride with the key in it, or you can take the key out, and you can then you can also lock it in place so that the key won't come out once it's in ignition. Okay, just remember that when you're going into a store or something like that, take your key out and turn the battery off, so that somebody can't just turn your battery on and take off with your e-bike. It's an extra set of protection. It keeps the battery from being used when you unlock it or lock it up if you're going someplace, okay? You still should have a bike lock you shouldn't rely on that as your only safety features to keep the bike from being stolen, but it will keep the battery from being used by somebody while you're making a quick run into a store or something like that. Battery does come out. Does come with the charger, and they do have extra batteries available. If you do need to buy a battery, you can contact Rattan. They may be able to set you up with a second battery if you need more range. However, we're going to talk about range here. If you will go to the website, Rattan Folding E-Bikes, and go to Gear Lab, and it is on outdoorgearlab.com. outdoorgearlab.com, and search for the Rattan LM. Now, they did a review of the 500 watt motor and model, and this is the 750 watt model that I am showing you. The 500 watt model had it was one of their first models they came out with. It had a few different features. It did not have that seat compression, and so they said it wasn't as comfortable. Well, now these models have that seat what they call a pogo seat suspension, and so it's a lot more comfortable. In fact, it's very comfortable. I really like that. In fact, I think I like that better than I like the fork suspension on the rear fork suspension. I like the seat suspension even better. It's less bouncy, and it's got good compression if you go over a bump or something like that right underneath my old butt. It does have a good cushiony seat. And I really like that I like that position of where you're sitting up instead of leaning over into your handlebars. Because I've got some neck problems and some back problems. And if you're leaning into a bike like you do, like a mountain bike or some of the other bikes that don't have that higher handlebars, it really gets to you after a while. You'll feel it in your neck and your back, and you'll get off the bike and your shoulders will be all sore. And you're putting a lot of pressure on your arms and your wrists because you're having to lean into the handlebars on those bikes. This bike sets you up at a nice comfortable pace, so you can just cruise right along on that, and you don't feel uncomfortable at all. It handles really nice, as you've seen that. It handled all those little curves I was going through, those dirt roads and everything like that. Handled the sand excellent. Now, if you want to see the speed ratings and the range ratings for this, go to this Gear Lab, outdoorgearlab.com. Read the review that they put on there for the Rattan bike, because it really is an excellent bike for the range. They compared it to like 10 other bikes in the same class, and it did top comparison for range. It had the top range out of all of the bikes that they compared against. It had the top range. Okay, this bike or 48 volt battery with 13 amp and a 750 watt motor. It has very good range. I would say you're going to at least get 40, right around there, on pedal assist, and it can get up, I think this website says up to 70 miles of range. If you're getting that, you're probably in pedal assist 1 and you're doing a lot of the work, but this is a very comfortable bike. That's the other thing that I noticed, is very comfortable bike to pedal, and with my old knees, I had no strain at all. I didn't even get out of breath that entire trip. I can ride it, and what I like is that I can fold this up. I won't show you it folded, but you can fold it up, and I can put it in the back of my pickup truck. You could put it in the trunk of your car. It's that small. You can put it in the seats between your seats, on your back seat or something like that if you got a pickup truck. And you can take it along with you, take it camping, take it to town, get it out and run around town on the bike, that sort of thing. So, my overall impression of this e-bike, because I've been riding it now for about a week, I would give it a good 8 stars out of 10. A good 8 stars. About the only thing that I would say I would prefer would maybe be that the seat could be lower down, because I got real short legs. It does have, the lowest setting is just a little bit high for people that may be on the shorter side. And so it may be harder for somebody who's like under 5'5". The seat won't go down low enough for you to feel real comfortable pedaling on it. Okay, that's the only thing I would say. If you are 5'5" and above, you should have no problem with this bike. 5'2", 5'3", you may want to consider testing out this bike to see if it'll work for you before you get one. And because of those taller handlebars, if you're a really short person, you have to put the seat down low, so that means your handlebars may be up here, so you may not feel comfortable. In order for a comfortable ride, you want your handlebars to kind of be right out in front of you, not hanging up here like this. At least for most people, I think. This would be uncomfortable, but this would be comfortable. So if you're a shorter person, this bike may be a little bit too big for you. And so that's why I would give it 8 out of 10 stars. But that's not a bad thing, as long as you understand that it might be for a little bit taller person. All right. I think it's an excellent bike. Again, that is the Rattan 750 LM. You can go to their website, Rattan, and take a look at it here. I will put the links for the website so you can go look at the bikes, do a comparison. I would compare this to the Rad Mini and to the Lectric XP. Compared to those two bikes, I think you will be impressed with the features that this has that those bikes don't have, and also on price-wise, it's a good comparison. All right, folks, I hope you enjoyed this video review. As always, please do subscribe to my channel. Go to my website, simplesolarhomesteading.com. Take a look at the ebooks and plans I have there for off-grid living and off-grid cabins. Have a great day.